How Chinese script has helped me. One, Chinese script has helped me immensely with art in different ways. First of all, Chinese script is very artistic. I remember when I used to teach Chinese at our university here in Trinidad. My students used to tell me, wow, Nika, this is just like drawing. And I used to tell them, no, it's not like drawing. I said, like, this is writing. When Chinese people are writing Chinese script, they don't think they're drawing. As far as they're concerned, they're writing. But later on in life, when I became an artist, and I became an artist fairly late in maybe in my mid 30s, late 30s, I realized that they were actually very correct. Chinese script, writing Chinese script is highly artistic, and I guess that's why calligraphy, like Chinese calligraphy, Korean calligraphy, Japanese calligraphy, they're considered art forms, right? They're very artistic, and I must say that writing Chinese taught me things like balance and precision and um, composition, things like that. Once you become a little more sensitive to the aesthetic quality of a Chinese word, you come to realize that Chinese is not only functional in terms of its ability to convey meaning, like a Chinese word obviously conveys meaning, just like a word would convey meaning in English or in any other language. But in Chinese, the writing is on a whole other level because it's also very artistic and it is a form of art. Some of the words are actually literal pictures. And even when they're not literal pictures, they still use very artistic elements like I said, like balance, composition, spatial placement, things like that are very important in Chinese writing, and also precision. The way lines, the linear placement of the placement of each line in relationship to each other is very important. They're supposed to be perfectly positioned. And I know that may sound a bit exacting, but it calls for a certain degree of discipline, eye for detail, a certain degree of perfectionism to master Chinese writing. And I think that that feeds into some of the things that make for somebody being a really good artist. You have to have an eye for detail, a sense of balance, a sense of harmony, a sense of composition, and definitely a very high level, a high sense of perfectionism. So, but apart from that, the other way in which Chinese has really influenced me as an artist is that um, sometimes the Chinese perspective of things is so unique that I find that I can incorporate it into my art. So for example, the word for snowflake in Chinese is one that I really love because I think it's so beautiful. The word itself and what it conveys is so poetic. It combines two different words. The first word is snow, and the second word is flower. So it combines the words snow and flower. Snowflower is snowflake. So I do actually have a piece of art, and you can see it here, where I use flowers falling from the sky to represent snowflakes. And I guess if somebody doesn't know Chinese, it may not make perfect sense to them, but it's still a beautiful piece of art, I think. So snowflower, snowflake, right? And then you got the now that's a kind of conceptual kind of word, right? Snow plus flower being snowflake. But then you've got the Chinese words that are actual pictures, like mountain, which represents three peaks, as you can see here on the screen. And I gotta tell you, for example, when I lived in Korea, and Korean language is heavily influenced by Chinese, when I lived in Korea, um, I used to love collecting greetings cards, like Christmas cards, New Year's cards, those kinds of things. And one thing I noticed was that when they did mountain peaks, a lot of times they had three peaks. A lot of times it was like three peaks. And I think that comes directly from Chinese. And it's something that I have incorporated into my own art. When I do like the Northern Range in Trinidad, when I'm representing that in my art, or, some kind of hill or something like that, I tend to do three peaks, right? Very much in the style that I saw in Korea, but I think that Korean style possibly comes directly from Chinese. And then you've got a word like fish. Fish is a literal picture of a fish in Chinese. You've got the head, you have the body, you have the tail, right? And so things like that create visuals that help me as an artist, right? So that's one of the ways in which Chinese script has been very helpful to me as an artist. I'm a better artist because I've taught Chinese and I've taught other people how to write Chinese. And finally, a huge way in which Chinese script is fed into my art is that it has colored my art style. My style of drawing is very, very linear, very minimalist, just like Chinese script. Chinese script has a very minimalist art style, and my art style is very minimalist as well. I didn't really see the connection until I had really grown and developed as an artist over several years. And then I was like, you know what? Clearly, my linear style comes from Chinese. And I don't think it's arbitrary, because there is an artist that I follow on Instagram. I think her Instagram handle is at Doodleland. I think Doodle, Doodle. I'll try to find it and I'll put it up on the screen. You might want to follow her, but I think her name is Flora Chang, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, her Instagram handle, I'll put it up on the screen. You can see it now. But anyway, she's originally from Taiwan, but she is a Hallmark artist. I mean, I grew up on Hallmark, right? I love Hallmark. Younger folks may not know Hallmark, but I grew up on Hallmark. And her style, interestingly enough, is also very linear. And I would like to think it's probably the influence of Chinese script, because as a Chinese person growing up in Taiwan, she would have grown up, she would have grown up writing Chinese and also possibly learning Chinese calligraphy. So I suspect that influences her style, which is also very linear. So that's it. Chinese has been very helpful for me as an artist, and shaping me as an artist, and in also helping me to find interesting ways to teach art to other people. So if you'd like to learn art with me, feel free to let me know. If you'd like a taste of what it's like to learn art through Chinese, feel free to let me know. We could organize some classes. I'd be happy to do that. Anyway, that's it for this video. On to the next one.